Hello and welcome to the first video from Studio Spotlight. Today I'm going to be briefly explaining the benefits of Vienna Ensemble Pro, comparing version 5 and its successor Vienna Ensemble Pro 6, released in August 2016. A more in-depth review of the software will be released in the near future. For many years, VEPro 5 has been the go-to solution for composers working on large templates with system-intensive sample libraries. By routing sample libraries through VEPro, the size and loading time of each project file in the Digital Audio Workstation, or DAW, can be massively reduced. But perhaps most importantly, the software allows for cross-platform communication, meaning that master and slave setups involving Mac and PC systems can work seamlessly via a gigabit Ethernet cable to establish a connection between systems. VEPro can also be used on single system setups, providing greater protection in the event of DAW crashes. In this video, we compare the two versions in practical terms, loading the same template on the same system in both VEPro 5 and VEPro 6 to see if there's been any noticeable performance upgrade. All samples are being housed on SSD drives for best performance. For this test, I've set up a relatively standard string section template, using only patches from EastWest's Hollywood Strings Gold library. The total RAM required for these instances of Vienna Ensemble Pro comes to about 11 GB. I'm loading each VEPro instance with one instance of EastWest Play plugin, version 4.3.5, which in recent times has become notoriously slow at loading. In the next week or so, EastWest are hoping to release Play 5, a brand new version of this software, which is set to see major performance upgrades as well as additional effects plugins. We'll be doing a comparison video using the same project template as here, once that has been released. For the purposes of this video, both sets of footage have been significantly accelerated. Our first test is in VEPro 5. As you can see, even in this sped up state, the Play software loading bar takes a long time to show any progression. This is a known issue with Play, but one which has been getting worse and worse with each updated Play version. It is hoped that Play 5 will resolve this problem. One of the downsides of VEPro 5 is the lack of customization available within the template after instances have been created. It is not possible to reorder instances after they've been set up, meaning that adding a new instrument to an existing template could become very cluttered. This has been resolved in the newer version. Over 14.5 minutes later, and this relatively modest template has finished loading in VEPro 5. On to the second test now with VEPro 6. We can instantly see the difference in appearance between this and the older version. Instances are now displayed as tabs rather than as a list, which is fine when using a template of a few instances. With certain digital audio workstations such as Logic, the single instrument per instance template tends to be more efficient, and the resulting tabs interface can be harder to search through at times. Similarly, it was much easier to see at a glance which instances were connected in VEPro 5 than it is in VEPro 6. On a more positive note though, the drag and drop option for reordering instances is a welcome addition. In particular, the ability to order instances alphabetically. Most importantly, on a workflow level, the template loaded faster within VEPro 6, even if it was only about 50 seconds or so. When this difference is expanded to a larger, full orchestra template, comprising strings, brass, woodwind and percussion, amongst other instruments, loaded on a daily basis, those 50 seconds can become several minutes saved waiting for a template to load. Furthermore, because in decoupled mode, VEPro hosts the samples outside of your DAW, if you use the same base template for each project you're working on, opening and saving projects can take seconds rather than minutes, particularly useful for those of us with trigger-happy save key fingers. There are numerous other system improvements outlined in the software's release notes, but highlights include the ability to rearrange instances by dragging and dropping them in the interface, color coding of tabs, significant CPU improvements, and the option to disable non-essential channels to save system resources.